What is going on, guys? Summer World from Summer World Productions here. Back with another top 10 list for y'all today. As for today's video, I'm here at the very least I did upload a video where I talk about, I think, the 10 worst sections in great video games. I'm going to do the same thing while I'm talking about the 10 worst episodes in great TV shows. Where, again, it's already showing what is that as the absolute worst aspect, and like a lot of choose they absolutely love and adore and do. Well, definitely a lot, honestly. Like the episodes that you think was just like hell, that might be bad, honestly. That maybe still has like an aspects to them, but when the show is always so consistently good, and I'm just thinking like a story done. But no, that's all I say. Just talk about episode that you're not the greatest when it comes to shows I always love. So let's get into the list. Let me know your what episodes great TV show list down below in the comment section. So let's get started. By the way, these are in any particular order, similar to my top 10 worst sessions list. And for the first one we were talking about, here's the one that actually was the first one I thought of actually when making this list, and that is, of course, Chapter 7, The Lost Sister from Stranger Things Season 2. This is probably infamously the worst episode of the show, and for good reason, honestly. Like, thankfully the show don't get this bad, honestly. It's like, I do love Stranger Things, honestly, even in the latest seasons, despite the noble issues and for the direction instead of going, honestly, being more action focused. I still do enjoy season 4 and 3 for what they are. But Chapter 7, The Lost Sister is one that even when I first watched it, I was like, yes, that's a good one. Like, it's not bad by any means, honestly. It's just like a weird side adventure that focuses on a character that never really amounted to much. I think they were planning on doing like a spin-off or something, but and now materializing, considering that it never materialized, it makes this episode really stick out so much. Not mention the character they end up focusing on here ends up becoming not the most interesting or likable character in the world. It's like, why would you want to follow them, honestly? So yeah, that's pretty much all I'm going to say about this episode. That just kind of wastes his time and doesn't really advance anything, and doesn't really advance Eleven's character or any of these characters. Just that's it. Now for the second episode, we actually get the first of the 2 or 3 finales on this list. Actually, yes. Unfortunately, there are some finales that aren't like great, but the first one and the second one I'm talking about now. The first one is, of course, the finale to How I Met Your Mother, which I still say by is probably the worst finale in the show you've seen. Again, I have not seen some other shows that had horrifically terrible finales, but How Much Mother is pretty abysmally terrible. Like, it's so bad that makes the rest of the show worse. Like I don't think I've seen a finale that makes the show worse, considering we know what it leads up to, what happens. I mean, the show was kind of deteriorated a little bit, though I think it's still enjoyable. But it doesn't mean it just ruin any goodwill the show has had. Honestly, of course, with the view on the mother and the whole divorce one. Also, getting spoiled, by the way. I'm pretty sure everyone knows from now, the events like killing the mother and having to be a Robin, which is a thing that I've been told that not could happen, and we're told that that shouldn't be a thing and anything. So, and the way that they structured it and the way they end up revealing, just like, really? And again, it kind of ruins the mystique of the show and ruins every moment. Well, I can say the show is still enjoyable, and so I'm saying it still has the great characters and the comedic aspects, and hell, I think some aspects are actually better than Friends, in my opinion. That finale really loses all goodwill, honestly. Like, honestly, it's a show that probably would be spoiler when, and also spoiler when you get to my eventual top 50 best TV show. It's a show that actually would have been so high on the list, honestly. Probably top 20, top 15. That's how good the show is, in my opinion. And then I just shrunk it down. So I don't even know if it's going to end up making the actual list, but because I haven't finalized it yet, but yeah, the finale, How I Met Your Mother, is really lackluster. And for the third one, we get to an episode from actually my favorite Disney Channel show, actually. It's even the best Disney Channel shows have these like 1 or 2 episodes that aren't great. And while I will say it's still a solid episode, I would say it's still a solid episode. It's one where I think of the worst episode of Amphibia. I would probably go with The Mother of Olms, considering it's kind of a time waster. And you can say that from a lot of season 3, honestly, but I still enjoy a lot of those episodes. This is one basically the end of me, The Mother of Olms, which was hinted at a while back, honestly, and then you end up having to trying to have her gain a memory by using this like cream and everything. But it turns out the cream actually is expired, and then anti-venom stuff that we kind of already knew, but is now more confirmed. And just an episode you feel like you don't really need to watch, watching during the but again, you said I've only watched season 3 honestly, but there's still a lot of charm, but there's still a lot of charm in this episode, a lot of good character moments, especially how it ends. But if I were to name any episode, I would say it's not the greatest. I would say this is one more because it feels like kind of a bit of a time waster. And one of the few times where I can actually see what people don't like season 3. Because I know season 3 does have a lot of haters, but this is one I can yeah, I can see where they're coming from. And now for the fourth one I'm talking about, honestly. And that's actually an episode from Drake and Josh. Now, not the filming this, I'm doing like an episode ranking on. I'm planning on doing like a big episode ranking on Drake and Josh. Like, I don't know if I'm gonna do that before or after I put out season 1. But if I'm making any episode Drake and Josh I'll put on this list, it would be Believe Me Brother, which is episode 3 of season 1. Again, it's not a bad episode, it's just, episode doesn't really just like hit, as I said. Honestly, it's episode where basically, you know, do like spending just living on certain aspects, and it's basically where Josh's girlfriend, Drake's girlfriend Josh basically ends up hitting on Josh, ends up kissing him, and then has Drake confessing that Josh is trying to steal him away from him. I'm gonna feel like so bad for Josh, honestly, how Drake ends up training him and doesn't like believe that. Like, honestly, you know, anyways, things, but it still not the most riveting in the world. And one of the first funny moments, especially with the, you know, Megan being Megan and Drake and Josh and everything. But all in all, if I think Drake and Josh that was not the greatest, it would be this one. And now for the fifth one, honestly, it's an episode from American Dad. I don't think I've ever talked about American Dad on this shit, honestly, but to be honest, I think about between the 3 shows like The Simpsons, Family Guy, and this show, I would say it's one of my favorite. I mean, truth be told, I've not seen every episode from The Simpsons, honestly, and I've not watched like the last few seasons of Family Guy. Family Guy still has not got great, honestly. So, but I've always preferred American Dad, honestly, to both those shows. You know, I can admit the show's never been perfect, and if I'm in an episode, I should be not that great. Is of course the infamous American Fun episode. To what I wouldn't say it's like an abysmal episode. To what I wouldn't say is like an abysmal episode. It's definitely a season that basically it's an episode that's just kind of offensive and just it's not that funny. That's what I can really say about it. It's like, it's really big. Like, China's kind of ends up buying the show. Stan basically for like the 3rd or 4th time gets his 20th anniversary for 2016, and then you just don't. So overall, it just doesn't really hit all the high notes. It, of course, makes fun of certain aspects that are kind of offensive, and what I won't say is as bad as some make out to be. It's that, in my opinion, the worst of this season of the show. Show them, for the most part, is actually pretty consistently hilarious, in my opinion. And now we get to the second finale on this list, and that is from Shameless, which is a show I actually did watch for the first time early this year. I finally watched the entirety of Shameless. And it's a show that definitely has like in 3 halves. And it's a show that basically has like 3 halves. That's why I think the first 4 seasons are fantastic. Some of the most hilarious, depressing, dark shit ever. Season 4 especially goes into some directions that are like, holy shit. Whoa. I think season 4 is probably one of the best seasons of television ever, in my opinion. I think I've had 8, which doesn't really hit the highs, but still has some good, hilarious moments. I think are legitimately good seasons of the show. And then 9 through 11, that are just, well, 9 is kind of okay, and basically once Fiona and the show kind of just goes to shit, honestly. And if I don't think any like bad episode from that season, I would probably go with the finale, because it's one of the most lackluster finales ever, because it is the pure definition of finale that doesn't really feel like a finale. It doesn't like close anything from the characters, it doesn't like continue anything. It just feels like your normal Shameless episode. And that's basically it just feels like your normal episode of Shameless. And that's very disappointing, because it's just a good on a high note, but more than the other episodes I would say are less funny, honestly. Because I feel like ended on a bad note, show on a bad note, and doesn't like close out anything from these characters. It's just really disappointing. Now we're going to actually get to another Nickelodeon show on this list, and that is iCarly. iCarly in 5, 4, 3, 2. Yeah, as much as iCarly as much as I love iCarly, it doesn't have the great. There are a couple episodes that are not the greatest, but if I think my least favorite, it probably would be the Blooper episode, which I think in growing up, I never liked the Blooper episode. Mostly because they try to have like Rex from Victoria's basically be like the talk show host, and I guess it's just not really that funny, honestly. It's just not like those any laughs, honestly, and it's just. I mean, you get the occasional funny moment where it's like, Victoria won an Emmy, so like Curly. Beyond that, it's just a nothing episode. Even the Blues themselves aren't interesting. That's basically all I can say. But yeah, even iCarly's not a show that hasn't had the greatest episodes, but if I think the one's the worst, the Blue episode probably would be most because it feels like just a nothing episode. And now for number 8, we get to another Nickelodeon show and the third finale on this list, and that is from Danny Phantom. Not sure you can do like any episode from the 3rd season. Like I think originally I had King Tut season 2 on this list, but honestly I can still enjoy the episode. So I knew episode of season 3 because obviously season 3 is known for being like, because obviously season 3 is known for being like not a good season, but I probably enjoy it more than most people. You know, I just think it's reached the highest of the first 2 seasons. But I actually have to go with the finale, Phantom Planet, for this list because, well, it's not a great finale if you think about it. Well, it's because of how people treat Danny when he loses his ghost powers and an asteroid and Blab because of revealing himself. Like you do get good moments in this finale. I was like, you do get good moments. It just doesn't feel like as conclusive or as satisfying as you expect it to be, considering the great moments that happen. And again, I never got why they treated Danny the way they did when he lost his powers when he decided to give them up. Like, I never got why they were upset at him about that. And how he started to feel like shit after that. Like, truly, that is one of the reasons why it's this long, because it just never made sense to me. And looking back, this Danny and Sam finally get together never was as satisfying as I thought it would be. And the satisfying moments just never felt as satisfying as they should be. That's like we know from Blab revealing himself, and then Jack standing up for himself, and when I realized how much of an asshole he was. But yeah, it just never gets conclusive, almost because of the execution, how it was structured. And not a terrible finale, but it could have become so much better. Now for the 9th episode we get to on this list, we got Cobra Kai. Which I love how I did as series basically cut by my favorite month from every season on the show, and I did do like a top 10 list of my favorite characters from like the whole franchise. And it's great that the next year the show is actually end up ending, though it's going to a little bit in like the Kraken movie with Dan Russo and Jackie Chan, which I'm actually so excited for. But I did come in since I knew that season 6 episode was going to make this list because as I'm feeling it, I feel like it's a season that's just kind of spinning his wheels at this point. So well, I can say I still enjoy Cobra Kai as a show, honestly, mostly because of the characters. I feel like they probably should end probably around season 4 or season 5, honestly, because he might actually did like a conclusive season. You know, like, why aren't we continuing this one more season? And no show the episodes plays that more than episode 3, season 6. Okay. And no episode plays that than season 6, episode 3, Sleeper. Which basically an episode where John Lawrence tries to get like Sam and Tori to fight again. But it doesn't work out. And it's just like a nothing episode. I was actually I had to be actually having episode 1 as well, and I had been episode 8 because of the insaneness that Dan will go for in the episode, even episode 9, but you still get some good humbling moments between certain characters. How I'd be putting like episode 10 because of the insaneness of how that episode ends. But in terms of just feeling like nothing towards an episode, I decided to go to episode 3, season 6, Sleeper. And now for the last episode on this list, we get to talk about Gravity, one of the more perfect definitions of an episode of a pretty lackluster episode in a great TV show, and that is Roadside Attraction from Gravity Falls, which I'll say is probably like the best episode. It's probably the best episode on this list because it's still probably a solid episode, but when you compare this to pretty much every episode that came before this, it's a very iconic, well done episode. So when you compare this to other shows, when you compare this to the previous episodes that had so many iconic episodes, iconic moments. And excited how this episode was placed, but it feels like it should have been like a season 1 episode. It really sticks out. Again, still a fun episode. Still gets some fun character moments, some fun crazy shenanigans. But again, I think we all agree the storyline with Dipper and falls in love with Dipper and Candy try to end up falling in love, or at least Candy falls in love with Dipper. And Dipper trying to get over Wendy still. I don't know, it just feels so tacked on. Like, I feel like this will play like early in the show, and now to what we get to like the big final few episodes. It probably wouldn't be as hate as it was, but yeah. And still saw an episode, but doesn't really hit like the highs of the previous show. But it's one I can definitely still enjoy myself rewatching. Well, guys, I hope you enjoyed me discussing 10 worst episodes of great TV shows. Let me know down in the comment section what are any total episodes from good shows. Let me know down below in the comment section. Let me know when to see like more detailed reviews down below. I am Simon World from Simon Productions. I will see you next time as always. Stay cool, everybody. Peace.